Some large services which use the torrenting process are... Torrenting is an action... So here we have an example of a couple of... Some large... Hi, my name is Aaron Smith, and I'll be giving technical instructions as to how to proficiently use P2P connections to torrent using the softwares BitTorrent as well as uTorrent through the Pirate Bay. That all being said, you need a couple tools in order to complete that task. You need a reliable internet connection, you need a computer, and the hard drive needs to have some free space on it depending on the size of the file that you'll be downloading. And you'll need an internet browser. Due to a certain set of conditions, my computer is going to be unable to use strictly BitTorrent, so about halfway through the video you'll see me switching over to uTorrent, and we'll get to that later, but you'll find that the two programs are essentially the same. So first things first, let's get open your browser. I'll be using Google Chrome for this. You want to head over to bittorrent.com in order to download the BitTorrent software. And once you get there, you want to scroll down and go to download BitTorrent for Windows. And there's an option to get a plus version of the software, however we'll be using the free download today. Choose where you want to save the file to. And once that's done downloading, you want to go ahead and open that exe and run it. Now, BitTorrent will give you a couple little warnings for advertisements that take place during the installation process. However, you do need to accept the end user license agreement, and that's just preference. You can hit next, and it's probably a good idea to uncheck the Start BitTorrent when Windows starts up box, just to not try to clutter your boot up process. And uncheck that because you don't want to download that when you're installing the software. In addition, uncheck those two and click skip. And go ahead and hit do not accept and finish. And so BitTorrent will open up like that. And you'll have bundles over on the left, and you want to go down and hit torrents. And this is the area in which your torrents are going to be displayed while you're downloading them. And down here there's a series of tabs that are used to display different types of information about your download as well as the files that you're downloading. And that's a tab for the people that are also downloading. Here's a tab where you can comment on the quality of the torrent, as well as the trackers and the speed of the download. And so now we're going to head over to the piratebay.sce, and the domain, which is .sce in this case, changes a little bit. But let's go ahead and do a pirate search for Oddpoxy, which is a artist who voluntarily displays their music through the Pirate Bay, just to avoid any kind of copyright infringement. And so you want to go ahead and click on the one that has some kind of seeders, and we'll get to that in a little bit later. But basically, when you find the one that you want, you go ahead and click on it. And I have an ad blocker right now, so you won't be seeing some of the ads that are on there, so I recommend you download an ad blocker. We want to go ahead and click on the magnet icon that's next to Get This Torrent, and that will open up your BitTorrent software, and this window will come up that has an option where you can select where you want the file to download to, and in the right side it'll say the name of the files that you're trying to download. And once you've checked all that out, you want to go ahead and click OK. So now we've added the torrent into BitTorrent, and you can check on the progress as it downloads here. Unfortunately, this particular torrent doesn't have a lot of activity, and so the download isn't going to go because there are no seeders. So I'm just going to show you an example of what one that would work looks like. Some things that are popular downloads are Hollywood blockbuster films, so in this case we are looking for The Avengers, and a lot of different information will be on the search page, such as seeders on the right, and those will be marked by SE, and when you click on it you can organize it by the amount of seeders that it has. So right here we have, we go down to 0, and then click it again and it'll organize it in the opposite direction with the largest number first. So it has 456 seeders, which means you have that many different people sharing their connection with you, which results in a faster download. And you can obviously choose between file sizes, and you can organize it in those kinds of ways as well. So once we found one, you see the green skull next to his name, which marks VIP, which means he is a trusted source for downloads. Please be aware that some torrents, when not verified as a VIP or private, that you are running the risk of downloading a virus. So here we have an example of a couple of torrents that have been completed and some that have yet to be completed. And if you go ahead and double click on ones that are done downloading, it'll open up the folder in which you downloaded them, and you can do whatever you want with the files that you've downloaded. Likewise, if you double click on ones that have not yet finished downloading, it will open up the torrent properties in which you can delete trackers to keep them from seeing your computer downloading it, and you can just hit OK. And these tabs over here will tell you information about the download that you have done, as well as other comments from people and, you know, different kinds of information regarding the torrent. And you have a set of options over here where you can, if you want to torrent while you're sleeping, you can set it to shut down or quit or do whatever you want it to do when the downloads are done. And when things are done, the files will stay there, so you can go ahead and remove the torrent from your uTorrent or BitTorrent software. And you can pause and start torrents like I have with this one called Breathe In. And you see that BitTorrent is essentially the same as uTorrent, except for some of the icons for the functions at the toolbar on top. Torrenting is an action that can be used to support illegal activities, such as copyright infringement, among others, as shown earlier. The downloaders are responsible for anything they download, whether or not it is in violation of copyright law. Some large services which use the torrenting process are Steam, the online digital rights management (DRM) software for downloading video games, Humble Bundle, the Microsoft website, and more. Thank you. Hi, my name is Aaron Smith, and I'll be giving technical instructions as to how to proficiently use P2P connections to torrent using the softwares BitTorrent as well as uTorrent through the Pirate Bay. That all being said, you need